Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. How's everybody doing out there? This is Coach Karvell Bailey. And this morning, we're going to talk about, it's going to be part one. Part one, we're going to talk about 13 things the student athletes can do to have a successful year, both on and off the basketball court. And we will get it going. So the first thing that I want to talk about today for all student athletes, upon going back to school, here's a real easy one. All right. And it sounds simple, but it's not easy. Before you go to school or walk in school, or if you've already started school, you want to do this today as soon as you get home. You want to um, make a plan and have a plan, or have a plan and make a plan. Understand what you're walking into that building for each and every day. When you go into that building, understand why you're walking into that building. And here's what I mean. Are you going to that building just to play sports? Or are you going to that building to get an education? And then furthermore, if you're going in that building to play sports, what do you hope to get out of it in the end? If you're going to school to get an education, what are you hoping to get out of it in the end? If you're going to school to play sports to be able to help get your education, which is ultimately for all student athletes should be the goal. So if you're playing sports to help pay for your education, then you want to make sure that you know as a student athlete what you're doing. So now when your friends want to cut class, or now when your friends want to be late or run the halls, or now when when your girlfriend or when your boyfriend or when your buddies, want you to do something that you don't want to do, you can always go back to that reason that you walked in the building to begin with. I hope that makes sense. And so when you understand that, now you have a plan. Look, I want to be a doctor. Okay, well, it may be hard to see yourself as a doctor freshman, sophomore, junior year. And I'm saying junior year because once you get to senior year, it's a whole different level, right? We shouldn't have to force you or even teach you how to focus. But again, understand what you want to do in the long run. So those days when you don't want to get up, when you don't want to go to practice, when you don't want to go to class, when it's snowing or when it's raining, when it's storming, or when it's, real hot, you can't call the school and say, I'm not coming to school today because I have a temperature of 105 and humid. You can't do that. It's a good day. You don't want to go to school. But when you know why you're walking into that building, and you have a plan, you have a long-term plan, and you're able to write it down. So now you're able to see it. That will help you immensely. But that's the first thing that you want to do upon entry into the building, or when you first get into the building, or if you've already started school, you want to stop and do that today. All right. Have a plan, make a plan, and then understand like what you're going for. The second thing that you want to do, and this is real easy. Ask your teachers and your coaches, even just school personnel. Ask them about them. They're people too. A lot of times, people get confused with coaches, with teachers, administrators, and think that they're just coach, teacher, administrator. But they are people. They do celebrate victories. They do have trials and tribulations also. They do get stressed. They do get excited. So they're human. They watch sports. They watch, political debates. So you want to engage. You want to engage in your instructors, in your teachers. It's nothing wrong with walking up and saying, how was your weekend? Mr. Jones, how was your weekend? Mrs. Bailey, how are the kids doing? Most teachers have, remnants of their life probably in their room, as well as some more pictures of students, former students. But again, they're people. And so if you want to build momentum starting the school year, I'm not saying to be a kiss up or none of those things. But if you want to build like student equity with each and every individual in that building, then see them as a person, not just as an administrator or as a title, not, just as a teacher. And when adults, coaches, teachers, administrators see that you care about them other than getting a grade, believe me, they will care about you, they will care for you, and they would do everything in their power to make sure that you don't fail. And it's not failing a test, but just failing in life. So you definitely want to engage your instructors, engage your, teachers, engage your coaches as people. No, you're not their friends. You're not going to be their friend. They're not going to be your friend, but they are people. So nothing, it takes no time to say, how was your day, coach? I hope everything is going fine. How's the family? What did you think about this? What's the last book that you read? Again, and when adults see that, the coaches or that students are a little bit more engaged in other people, and not just themselves, then that opens you up for a lot more benefits. Let me just say that. All right. So the first thing, make a plan, have a plan. The second thing is engage your teachers, engage your coaches as people. The third thing, and I love this, I always talk about this. If you've been following me for a while, then you've heard me say this many, many times. Again, what I had to do as a student athlete, and I always have my student athletes do it, and I implore all student athletes to do it. What am I talking about? If you don't have assigned seats in your class, you want to make sure that you're sitting in the first two rows. If you don't have assigned seating in your class, let me say it again. You want to make sure that you're sitting in the first two rows of the classroom. Now, what does that do? Well, one, it ensures that you're paying attention. And people say, well, I can sit in the front and I can still doze off and not pay attention. Probably, but the odds are very, 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 very slim of you not paying attention if you sit in the first two rows. And if you have buddies, tell them, hey, we need to sit in the first two rows. If you have friends, hey, we need to sit in the first two rows. Or it really doesn't matter where you guys sit, where, you ladies sit, whatever. I'm sitting in the first two rows, preferably the front row. And what this does is it minimizes you from the distractions that's going on in the back of the class. It minimizes you from having to ask questions because you're lost. It also increases the chances of you having more eye contact and eye engagement with the teacher, which means now when you're having better eye engagement, you can listen better, because we listen with our eyes. We see with our mind. That's a whole different topic, but you listen with your eyes. And so when the teacher knows that you're listening and you're paying attention, by default, you're going to intake more of the information and you're going to retain more of the information. And then it also helps you because the teacher is able to see you front and center, and the teacher knows that you're paying attention. So those are three of the 13 things that students can do to start building momentum right away and to have a successful year on and off the court. Make a plan, have a plan. Engage in the adults as normal people, not just as your coach and your teacher. All right. Also, you want to sit in the first two rows. Be able to sit in the first two rows and pay attention. Okay. And I always like to go over and above. So I'm going to give you a bonus. And I'm still give you 10 tonight, but I'm going to give you a bonus at the end of each week, at the end of each day, at the end of each quarter, at the end of each year. And I'll get into this more tonight at 7:30 p.m. I'll be doing the remaining 10 things that student athletes can do to help them build momentum and have a great year on and off the court. I'll be doing that tonight at 7:30. Just comment below on this video or send an email to info@blessedtoballsd.com, info@blessedtoballsd.com. I actually have it in the title of this actual video. But you want to send me an email or just respond right below to this video if you can, asking for the private link tonight. Now, it's only good for the first 40. So it's not a lot of spots left. So you want to go ahead and lock in your spot tonight so you and your athlete can really, really, dive into it and get all the information that they need. So you want to make sure that you comment below or you send me an email letting me know that you want the private link tonight. Giving you the first 3 today, and I'll give you the other 10 tonight. But I'm gonna give you a bonus right now. I'm gonna give you a bonus. Oh, by the way, if you haven't had a chance to pick up my book, Understanding Life Through the Game of Basketball, you can pick that up. But the new one is out also, Creating the Perfect Storm. And so we're actually doing a back to school special. I'll talk a little bit more about that tonight as well. I'll put that link in the comments. We're doing a back to school special where you get both books as well as 15 episodes of my show, Life in Basketball. You get all of that at one price of $67. You get 2 books as well as 15 episodes of Life in Basketball for $67. I will put that link in the comments as well. But here's the bonus. Each night, each week, each month, each quarter, each semester, or each year, you can do this and it will work the same way. And I call it RFP. And for those adults that may, know nonprofits, I'm not talking about requests for proposal. I'm not talking about that, but we're talking RFP. And what that means is when you're setting your goals as a student, as a parent, just as a person. All right, the first thing that you want to do, again, nightly, weekly, monthly, whatever it is, first thing that you want to do at the end of that time period, that day, that week, whatever, you just want to sit back and reflect. Sit back and reflect on the positive wins. Like, we're not going to reflect on the negatives. We're building momentum going forward. So you want to reflect on your wins. Like, what type of wins did I get this week? Did I pass a test? Was I able to get up on time? Was I able to eat breakfast? Did I get a good sleep? Did I work out well? Like, what type of wins? So you want to reflect on the wins. And then the F is now you want to focus. You want to focus. And my personal development mentor he taught me about the difference in fog lights and laser lights. Most students go into school with fog lights and they're just wide open, like everything matters. And that's why the first thing that I said today is have a plan, make a plan. You want to take your fog lights, even on the basketball court. You just don't want to be like part of a team. You want to win a championship. So you want to condense those fog lights down to laser lights, because with lasers, you can start to dissect things with lasers, right? Fog lights is just going to be, you'll see something is coming, but you don't know. But that laser, you can really, really lock down and focus. So you want to really, really focus, all right, on what else you need to do to improve. Anybody that's, me looking down, I always keep my notes. I always make notes, okay? But you want to focus. You want to focus on what is it that you still need to improve. All right, we've already reflected on our wins for the week, for the day, for the month, for the year, semester, quarter, whatever that may be. Now we want to focus on what else we need to do to improve. Because if we don't know what else it is that we need to improve on, how can we get any better as a student or as an athlete? Does that make sense? So after you focus on what you still need to improve, now is where the P come in, and the P is the preparation. Right now, you know what you need to improve. Now let's start to prepare going forward to make sure that we get more wins that we can reflect on. And then we focus a little bit more about what we need to improve on going forward. Right. And then we prepare for that, because you can't really prepare for what you don't know that you need to do. I'm going to say that again. You can't really prepare for what you don't know that you need to do. Does that make sense? So when I talk about RFPs, again, not requests for proposals, but you want to reflect, and then you want to focus, like fine tune your thinking a little bit. Focus. What's the plan? Like, why am I walking into this building? Yeah. Do I have to go to high school? Do I have to go to grammar school until a certain age? But even still, why are you walking into that building? Why are you walking into that school? Okay. Have a plan, make a plan. And once you reflect on it, and then once you focus on the things that you still need to do to improve, right? Because we're only talking positives here. Now you can come up with a plan on what it is that you need to, how you're working on a plan of how to be able to execute and how to get it done. And I assure you, even with that little bonus, the RFPs, if you do that as a person, as an athlete, as a coach, as a parent, it will help you immensely. Reflect, focus, prepare. All right, RFPs. So again, I hope you enjoyed just the 3. All right, I gave you 3 and a bonus things that student athletes can do to build momentum and to make sure that their school year is amazing on and off the court. You get the other 10 tonight. Make sure that you comment below or send an email to info@blesstheballsd.com. And don't forget our back to school special. Hey, listen, those that are in the Chicagoland area, this weekend at Prairie State at 9:00 a.m., I will be part of a great group of individuals that will be on a panel talking about developing and creating a great student athlete. And so this is kind of a preliminary of some of the things that I will be speaking about, or, and even asking questions. So again, share this with somebody that you know that can use this. Share this information with somebody that you know that can use it. All right, put your city and state where you're coming from, and I hope to see you tonight. All right, it's a brand new year. It's a brand new season. All right, let's get to it. Let's set goals. Let's accomplish goals. And let's be great on purpose. So in closing, I always say, strive for the top because it's crowded as hell at the bottom. Y'all be good. Peace.